Hi, guys. Thanks for stopping by the channel. If you're not subscribed, I hope you'll subscribe and tell your friends to subscribe as well so I can keep on doing this and we can have our little community here. Uh, you've probably seen by now that, well, a federal judge today said the White House has defied his order to release billions of dollars in federal grants, marking the first time a judge has expressly declared that the Trump White House was disobeying a judicial mandate. Uh, JD Vance has been, he's got a law degree, allegedly, and he has been out there advocating, defying the courts as well. And Katie Fang and other lawyers, the true experts are, all over the place saying we are in a constitutional crisis. And we are. I have been spending a little bit too much time over the past few days fighting with idiot MAGA on Facebook. Most of them are like high school friends and people from my hometown. These are all in cultists who really don't know what they're talking about. And I don't say that as a slam, but they don't. There are just some people who are smarter, better informed, and better at this, and it's not them. But they are an example of the cult. The things they say, Trump is a godly man. He's done more since he's been here than anybody else. And well, maybe he didn't really waste that $15 million at the Super Bowl. Have you looked to see if he met with other people to get stuff done? Because, these federal agencies are so slow and maybe he had to meet with people to move things along. This is the type of BS these idiots are saying. My suggestion to them, and I'm not even going to go back and see what the responses were. My suggestion was, you know what? If you're going to make these ridiculous claims, that Trump wasn't just helping himself to $15 million of our money, like he did the $150 million in golf trips, golf vacations when he was president the first time. Tell you what, honey, you go find out and you report back to us rather than you just lying and putting this stuff up there on Facebook. But this is what they do. They take it very personally because they are so dug in. None of them have any facts. Okay. So, my point on that is that I may have to stop wasting my time talking to them. I will post the truth always on Facebook and it's open so they can read it. I think I said this yesterday. They can read it, but they can't reply. So, I'm all for educating the idiot cultists who think they're so smart. They are idiots. This is criminal level stupidity on their part. It is these idiots that have put this country in this position. And they're not used to being able to engage people who are smarter than them. But on social media, it happens. And I think what it does is it makes them feel like they're smart, like they're as smart as, say, me or somebody else. Well, they're not. And you know why? Because I've done the work. This is what I've done for decades in my life. They haven't. And rather than maybe listen to what I have to say and understand that I know things, and I used to be a Republican. I am doing this because I know what I am talking about. I did the hard thing because I know what I'm talking about. And I've known for 9 years what the danger of Donald Trump is because I experienced it. These people don't care about that. They don't understand it. They don't understand what Trump is doing. They haven't heard about it. They're not reading it about it. They don't know that the Consumer Product Safety Commissioner and all that is gone. They don't even know what it means or what it stands for. They don't care. They are stupid, childlike cultists. And I don't care if some of them are watching this and get offended. It's not done to offend you. It really is the truth. This is like, when you think that people like me, Heather Cox Richardson, Amy says, when people like it, when you think that we don't know what we're talking about and that you know as much as we do, you don't. And that's a fact. Do you go to your doctor's office and tell them you know more about how your body works than they do? You don't. So they've been taught to believe that their opinion matters the same as someone else's. It doesn't. Their vote does. Their vote matters the same as mine and yours, but their opinion doesn't. Why? Because it's not an informed opinion. And it's not even an opinion. They don't really debate. They just say stuff. So I'm done with them. One way I know that things are this serious is I'm now getting the emails from my newly elected member of Congress in the House that they're having a town hall call in tomorrow night and we all can sign up. And she's very clear about the fact that we are in trouble. as a nation. We don't have the answers. And I got the same thing from my senator, who the next night is having a town hall. I know my congresswoman. I knew her while she was running. I don't know my senator personally, but I am going to sign up for these. I want to hear the questions. I want to get the information, and I want to see if they have information that at least gives us some hope. Is somebody doing something that matters? I suspect that the only thing that can be done and that might work and that it works in other countries, but I don't think we have it in us. But it is a massive, massive, just flood DC. Everybody shows up by the millions. And yeah, that means finding a way to get there. If you have to drive over, a few states to get there, fly and then drive in, and then somehow take the metro or whatever to get to the main thing, it would be bigger than the mall there in Washington. I'm talking flooding the streets. Everybody, everybody by the millions. It is going to take that level of our voice, not a few 100,000, millions. You've seen this done in other countries. They accept the fact that they're being taken over by authoritarians, that they're being ripped off, that everything is gone. I don't think we have it in us as Americans to do that. I hate to say that, but we've gotten soft. We've gotten soft. So when I call into these town hall with my congresswoman and my senators, my two senators actually are doing it together. I'm not demanding that they do something unless we know what that something is. Now, one thing I will say, I admire that many Democratic House and Senate members are showing up at the federal agencies over which they have authority, these authorizing committees. Congress has constitutional authority over the agencies. Okay? That is their job. That's one of their main jobs. And they're being kept out. Okay, who is keeping them out? The private hired militia, Blackwater, started by Eric Prince. Okay, we talked about this before. I am strongly suggesting that our elected officials physically go by them or call, say, local DC police controlled by Democratic mayor. Go in with law enforcement reinforcements and force your way in. You do not have to allow yourself to be physically barred from entering the building, these federal buildings of these agencies over which you have budget authority and oversight. You have an oversight function. I know it's rough. It has to be something that we're all willing to do. But at this point in time, I think it has to be our elected officials first. And if they are physically carried out by these people who have no authority to do it, these Blackwater hired militia, private militia, maybe that will be enough to get us all there for a couple of days to just flood the street and all around the White House. And that president doesn't get to leave that White House until he answers to us, to we the people. We can do this. It's been done in other countries. And I've seen other people, smart people who have been in the fight for a while, start suggesting the same thing. Peaceful demonstrations, but lots of it. We've seen it in other countries. And one thing I do know is that the people that are doing this to us, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, their staffs, the unelected goons, the 19-year-olds that have no authority to do this. The one 19-year-old she was fired by somebody before for leaking information. He's a 19-year-old kid, a goon, one of Elon Musk incels. He has now just been hired and named a senior advisor at the United States Department of State, at our State Department. Okay? They're not going to go down easily. And they know that we don't have it in us. Remember, I've been saying this for a while. When Democrats decided not to try to impeach Trump over obstruction of justice in the Mueller report, he knew. He knew this was going to be like taking candy from a baby. And he was right. And he was right. That was the real turning point that I noticed. And that was the first step that we took, or didn't take rather, that helped lead us here. At this point, it's going to take all of us. And I'm sensing when I see members of Congress talking, they're saying, we're doing what we think we can, but we don't know. Now, we do know that Trump backs down. If Republican senators, House and Senate members, stand up to him, because remember, MAGA elected them. I used Senator Jerry Moran from the red state of Kansas, and all those farmers that are getting screwed over now and ruined. Farmers that voted MAGA, that voted for Trump. So that's what it's going to take. But I think it's important that we show the world that we, the people, are going to do what we need to do. I myself don't have the ability to launch some big one day, but I'd like to be a part of a committee that does. And I'm not sure what we do, because we can't arrange transportation or even guarantee porta potties or, lodging or anything. It might just have to be a thing where everybody shows up. And I mean millions of people, not just from the DC area. We've seen it in other countries. If we do that, I think that we, the people, fighting back shows the rest of the world that we're serious. And you know what? They may help us. I posted this something from the elected official in Australia. They know what's going on. They know what's going on. We've talked a little bit about following foreign media, because they know what's going on and they're reporting it accurately. Our media is not. Write them off. We're not getting the full story, the truth. We just won't. And Trump has banned our media from the White House press briefing room. There's just a few he banned last week, within a couple days ago. He banned all the major ones. So what I want, I've said this, and I don't think it'll happen. Maybe I'll suggest this to my senators. I want Democratic leadership not to hold just their weekly briefing. I want them to do a daily press briefing, same spot, same time, just like the White House does, maybe just after the White House. Do fact checking, get the eyeballs, get the cameras, make it a regular thing. Because you've got the White House press corps, and then you've got your House and Senate press corps. Remember, I did this for many, many years. So you've got the House and Senate press galleries. You've got those reporters. I think that the networks and the media outlets that have been banned from the White House press briefing room will double their staff on Capitol Hill. And I think that if Schumer and Jeffries every single day hold a briefing, they can do tag team. They can even have maybe someone else fill in. I think they need to have one key staffer, like a leadership press secretary, that works with the press secretaries and communications directors, with the leadership offices. But I think they need to add one person who's like the super duper uber press secretary. That is a person who might give some press briefings, or at least set the stage each day, give some, and then bring in Jeffries, bring in Schumer, bring in a committee chair, bring in Pelosi, whoever we want to. You might have different people giving different kinds of briefings, different committee chairs. But every single day, there will be one. And the reason it shouldn't just be Schumer's press secretary or Jeffries' press secretary is because they still do work for those entities. And they will definitely have to be a part of this, clearly. But I think you need this one key person to be the one that organizes this and is the face of it. Just like you have the face of the White House would be the White House press secretary, whoever it is at any given time. And I think that the Democratic leadership on the House and Senate need to do that. And that person also would be working with governors, with Democratic governors. So if there's something happening in a state, or some partnership, something that's federal and state, or just something that the Democratic Party needs to highlight, if Trump is doing something to one of the states, to one of the governors, you can have that governor in for that day. But there needs to be a Democratic daily press briefing that is cohesive, and it has that one person. I know what it's like if you try and get all these different press secretaries from the different leadership offices to work together. You still need the one person. So that's what I'm recommending. If you like this idea, please send this video around, or encapsulate that idea and let your elected officials know, your Democrats, that this is what you'd like to see, and you can refer them to what I've said. Just say we need one voice, one entity. What we have ain't working. So that's my recommendation. That's my recommendation for this, and I think it's doable. I was a leadership and senior communications person on Capitol Hill for one of the committees for a long time. I was an RNC spokesperson. I've run campaigns. I know how this works. This is what they need to do. Unlike other pundits you see on TV that don't have my Hill experience, they don't understand how this works. They're not going to be thinking of it. I am. I'd really like to hear what other people who have my similar experience, Democrats have to say about it. Former Democratic staffers that understand the power of that one person there, because this is what we have to do. This is what we have to do. The world is different now. The country is different now. We cannot conduct ourselves like it's business as usual. We can't. We simply cannot do that. So this is my offering. This is my idea. Is it the big solution? No. But from a communications and coordinating perspective, this is something that needs to happen now. So again, in the comments, or if I put this on Twitter, on Blue Sky, and on Facebook, if you like this idea, comment, share it. And again, I hope you're subscribing, and I hope you'll help me get other subscribers and other people to view these things. I do one longer one each day, 2 shorts, and I could even do more if we really get this thing going. We all got to be in this together, because this is hair on fire time. I know I use that phrase a lot, but this is a constitutional crisis. I'm not willing to give up. I haven't given up in 9 years. I am not going to give up now. And I hope you're with me on that.